Welcome. Greetings. This is the Spaz Out podcast. I am your handsome, talented, fucking gifted host, Caleb King. And the one that you hear chomping in the background is the ogre, the 6'4" Chris McCauley.
It's 6'5" to you peasants, but close enough. Good try.
And Robbie Bland.
Howdy, that's me. I'm also really smart, actually smarter than Caleb.
Disagree. 2 IQ points.
Probably more handsome. Probably more handsome.
Two IQ points different.
I'll never.
We're gonna put up a picture of Robbie and a picture of Caleb, in the video. Okay. So, first episode of Spaz Out podcast, created by me, engineered by me, written by me, produced. And edited by me.
There's no writing. There's no writing in the show. You're lying to me.
No writing.
You mongrel.
You are actually.
We're gonna start. Okay, we're supposed to be talking about Twitter.
Okay, let's introduce the show a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, whoa.
We're all friends with Caleb. This is Caleb's idea. He's wanted to do a podcast for a while now. So that's what we're sitting down and doing. This is his Make-A-Wish. We're sitting down and helping our friend Caleb run a podcast.
No, Caleb's not retarded. He has cancer. So since he has cancer, we're fulfilling his Make-A-Wish, and we are doing a podcast with Caleb.
I do have esophagus cancer. Anyways,
we make a Make-A-Wish joke, and Caleb says, "I'm not retarded," as if Make-A-Wish only goes to people with mental disabilities.
Okay. Back on track. So what we're gonna do in this inaugural episode of Spaz Out is we are going to start by introducing a general topic. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna argue about it. We're gonna give our opinions, agree or disagree, and then after that we'll move on, and we're just gonna follow the flow of conversation. See how it goes.
I know.
And Caleb is going to spaz out.
I wasn't explaining it to you. I'm explaining it to the viewers, you fool.
Okay. So we're supposed to be talking about Twitter in general, right? So Twitter, I've had some cool experiences with Twitter, right? Go ahead and follow me at Little Bitcheroni. Lil Bitcheroni.
Shameless self-promotion.
Yeah.
LIL Bitcheroni.
So Twitter. I guess this was supposed to be made as like a mock Facebook type thing, but it's mainly just used for fucking shitposts and comedy. Political discussions on Twitter, in my opinion, are fucking cancer. There's no way that you can get like actual thoughts out in like 140 characters, which is now 280 characters, which still just don't fucking talk politics on Twitter. You may
only for select users.
And then, like, I think people are so cool, right? I think people are so cool, and, like, I'll meet them in real life, and I'll add them on Twitter or whatever, and then they'll just say some retarded shit, like politically.
I'm pretty sad today, guys.
They'll just say some retarded shit, and I'll be like, wow, I thought that person was so fucking cool, and they're really not that good.
Most people don't understand social media and what it's supposed to be. They just post actual shit. They're not even doing shit posting. They just actually
just at me, Robbie.
Caleb, your Twitter's actually funny when it wants to be, but
when it wants to be. Now there's sometimes where it just doesn't make sense. Like I'll give you an example. So Caleb hasn't actually tweeted this, but something that may come from Caleb's account one day is something like sandwich water. He won't give an explanation. I told you haven't, but that's something that would come from a quality account.
Can I link my merch in this podcast?
You have merch? You have merch?
Oh, okay. Announcing Caleb King merch, right? If you go to my Twitter, you can see my profile pic, right? That's going to be on a shirt. Also, the King is going to be on a shirt and like some other design that I made. But a group of my friends basically had the idea of putting the shirtless Caleb with the phone in my pants on a shirt.
Oh, I think,
and so they did.
And it was neither of us because we're both intelligent.
Yeah.
The reason that I and Chris wanted to talk about Twitter is more because Twitter as a platform one that favors certain views over others.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, censorship, yeah? They're suspending accounts for fucking no reason.
That and the other topic we want to branch off into is how Twitter can affect you in real life. Being Caleb tweets something really dumb on his account and then loses everything at school.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess we can start with the censorship.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we do all agree on this. Twitter's fucking stupid, and at fucking Jack, I fucking know you're listening to this shit. Jack, you're a fucking son of a bitch. All of my favorite people that I follow on Twitter, right, get flagged for fucking like hate speech or like whenever they're making jokes. If you get actually offended at a joke, do not read the joke. Do not fucking read the joke. Don't even listen to the joke. Don't even follow them. Don't even do anything. Don't report the fucking tweet for hate speech, you shithead.
How is cyberbullying even real? Just close your eyes.
Not. Cyberbullying is not. You can't say the N-word on here. You can't say the N-word on here.
Yes, you cannot say word. Nope, banned. This podcast has been flagged and taken down for YouTube review.
What is wrong with that word?
There's nothing. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong with it, right? But I don't want this to affect.
Like free speech.
I don't want. I know. I'm sorry, okay? I don't want our shit to get flagged and taken down whenever we get fucking big, because I know we'll get fucking big. Because I'm fucking awesome
big.
at what I do.
We're gonna be people aren't gonna have shit to say. We're gonna already be big.
I know, but that will affect brand deals and that will affect whatever.
Brand deals.
Jesus. Well, we're planning far into the future, but if I'm going to give my 2 cents about this lovely platform, there are a couple things that I wanted to talk about. So, there are, as Robbie mentioned, there are particular ideas that are promoted on Twitter more so than others. For example, I don't know if this has anything to do with like the demographics of the U.S., but I think we can all agree in general that Twitter has become a playground for the social justice warriors and warrior princesses. No?
Oh, no doubt.
So my take on that is, even though I am biased because I am raised and born in a place that is most naturally a Republican state, I could say fairly confidently that Twitter is managed or overseen by people who perhaps have a left-inclined viewpoint, and as such, Twitter is almost useless to talk about politics because there is a ruthless mob mentality where if you talk about something from the wrong political alignment, usually in most cases the right, then you will be ganged up on by Twitter. You will be banned.
Every time I tweet a joke, let's pull up a fucking example, right? Every time I tweet a fucking joke about anything, I get some bitch with purple hair or an afro in my fucking mentions or in my fucking DMs telling me that it's not funny or that I'm being offensive.
Or that you're being offensive. Yeah.
Being offensive. My welcome to Chili's tweet. My welcome to Chili's tweet is somehow offensive. Somehow fucking okay. And everyone on the podcast.
Play that clip.
Yeah. Okay. Let me play the clip right now. Actually. Hi, welcome to Chili. Jesus fucking Christ. Such a good video, right? It's such a good video. But, so basically...
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Yeah.
Welcome to Chili's.
Clip shows, if you're listening to it on SoundCloud, basically, I walk into a fucking camera screen, there's a sock on my flaccid dick, and you can't see it, I'm just shirtless. Sock on my flaccid dick, I walk in the camera, phone to the mirror, hi, welcome to Chili's, right? Just comedy, just pure fucking comedy, right? So... 13 replies on this thing. Oh, I'm so fucking popular. But my cousin disowned me. Boy, you're not my cousin anymore. Yeah, but something like sexual harassment. Okay, they accused me for sexual harassment because I didn't give a warning. I didn't give a fucking trigger warning. Fucking purple-haired bitch. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, is that really sexual harassment? Do you really think that's sexual harassment? Does anybody really think that?
I don't.
You walking in the screen with a fucking. It's not even nudity. It's not even nudity.
You should. Well, you're wearing a cocksock, and that's about it. So
If some- if some bitch-
I would say that it classifies as general nudity, but
That's
Not-
pretty nude, honestly.
No. I
I
disagree.
would,
No.
If you went outside like that, you would get in trouble.
No. No, I disagree. And also, picture this, right? Some bitch, fat ass, right? Walks into the camera, walks into the mirror, and just starts shaking her ass, right? Not sexual harassment. Oh, my fucking eyes! I didn't expect to see ass. Oh, fucking boo hoo. Oh, Caleb King walks in the mirror. I didn't expect to see such a handsome fucking man. Oh, fucking boo hoo, right? It's not sexual harassment. Fuck off.
do you want to talk about male versus female Twitter? Because I feel
double standards are important, and let's talk about male and female Twitter, and I have to talk about Black Twitter at some point.
I have a lot of female friends, of course.
Naturally,
I have a lot of female friends.
Caleb King.
I have a lot of female friends, and they criticize me, and they think I'm actually sexist. Now they still hang out with me because I'm fucking funny as shit. That no matter what I do, I'm just good at it. Which I'm not sexist. I'm not sexist, not racist, not anything like that. I make jokes about it. I make jokes, but that's exactly all they are. They're jokes. They're not making light of a situation. They're just making the situation better. If you're not a fucking retard, right? Because most people will be like, that get offended by jokes are not very smart people. so
just be blunt about it. Everyone who gets offended over a joke is actually
I completely agree with that. Anyone who actually gets offended by a joke, unless it's not funny, unless it's just not.
Okay, so at this point, you're basically basing it on subjectivity. At this point,
you judge what is funny.
You can tell when someone's trying to be funny. And if it's a joke, I don't think you should get offended by it. That's my point. Yeah, because I know, even with deadpan comedy, you know what I'm saying? You can tell when someone's trying to be funny. Am I wrong?
I think when it comes to whether or not a person should be allowed to get offended over a joke, it's the context of the joke when you're telling it and why your intention of telling it. Like, I don't know if you and this is a little bit of an extreme example, but if you go, I don't know, let's just go full on extreme here. You go to someone's funeral and you make fun of them getting stabbed to death or something.
Okay.
In front of their whole family. Just maybe just a little bit. They have a right to be offended because it's not made in good taste at all.
Yeah, I
just after the Ariana Grande concert bombing when people were memeing that up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like you need just a little bit of time to pass. And I did meme that concert, but I didn't meme it at any of the victims, nor did I, meme it 2 minutes afterwards,
Uh-huh.
So,
no, I agree with that.
Certain context and intention for things that you have to keep in mind. It's
so,
not that, LOL, you're triggered, snowflake, stupid,
So I think we've gotten jokes. We've gone through jokes on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
you want to talk about the class president thing, or
wait. We'll bring it up at the end. But I have a question. How do you feel about Twitter as a format for conveying, reading, and digesting, or spreading, for that matter, news?
News.
Yes.
There we go.
I think it's a shitty platform to share news on because, again, okay.
Goes back to the point he was making about politics that such a limited space to tell a story, and people in this generation, most people only read the headline and then make assumptions about what it's about.
Exactly.
And I am guilty of that.
Imagine a news network, right, that only wrote articles in 280 characters, because you don't go on Twitter to read articles. You do not go on Twitter to read articles, or you go on Twitter so that you could be constantly entertained with tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet that's short and easy to digest. That's why you go on Twitter. Or else you would go to your own independent news network if you wanted to actually learn about shit. You go on Twitter to get mad, and you go on Twitter to laugh. That's what you do.
I will say the Twitter platform is good for quickly information, but it doesn't ever tell you the whole story.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It can be argued that it's good for spreading the news, but it's not good for telling the news.
Yeah.
So now it's time for everyone's favorite buzzword: fake news.
Fake news. It's
Fake
real.
news.
It's fucking real. And fuck Donald Trump for spamming fake news, because it's the same thing with every other word. If you just use it a bunch of times, if you use the N word a bunch of times, you use the C word a bunch of times, I can say cunt. Cunt. If you use cunt a bunch of times, then it's just gonna lose its meaning. If you use fake news every fucking 2 seconds, it doesn't mean anything anymore, Donald Trump. I know you're listening. Right?
Donald Trump, Caleb King's biggest fan. Who has the bigger ego?
Donald or Caleb?
I will destroy Donald Trump in a rap battle, in a debate, anything. Fucking bring it on. Right?
Okay. So about fake.
No. Let me finish my point. What I'm saying is, fake news is real because they will actually make up things because they can, because they're a trusted news network. They will actually just cry wolf and make up things for ratings, for a bunch of money, because it makes a bunch of money when people view their shit. It makes a bunch of fucking money.
Outrage culture, and that's what it's all about, is bringing the most outrage and twisting a story to be about the most offensive thing possible. And I have an example for this.
And they manipulate themselves. They manipulate themselves to actually, like, they manipulate the anchors or whatever to actually be, or anybody that's talking about it to actually believe what they're saying and actually be physically mad about it. So it does cause that uproar.
If anyone remembers Ken Bone,
I don't remember.
Literally the day after he appeared on the presidential debate, the second one, CNN went through his like entire Reddit history and tried to paint him out as this malicious sexist who should not be trusted or adored at all. And he liked women.
The things that people will do to paint someone as either a leftist or a rightist or some weird combination of the two.
I think also the YouTube adpocalypse that happened. We had a bunch of different YouTubers having their videos completely taken out of the context. Like this one dude was trying to prove that police vests that claim to be stab proof are not actually stab proof.
Oh yeah, and that got taken
it was
down.
Like raising awareness for, hey, police officers aren't as safe as they should be out on the streets, and completely ripped that video apart, calling this dude like some kind of alt-right weapons obsessive who's trying to declare war on the world or something.
Yeah, people use. Here's my biggest problem with Twitter, because I haven't talked too much about this. I've just been mediating.
We devolved into fake news, so let's wrap it back around. Yeah.
Yeah. So my biggest problem about Twitter, and this does have to do with fake news, but it's also mainly about Twitter. So the thing that's great about the internet, and the thing that makes internet and Twitter a Pandora's box, is the ability to rapidly exponentiate the spread of information. But with that also comes the vice that if you spread misinformation, that snowball grows rapidly quicker, and people will legitimately base their opinions off of things that may or may not be true. But since it's been circulated so much, it's almost like it has to be true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that goes back to the old saying that a lie would get halfway around the world before the truth even puts its shoes on or something.
Yeah.
Back to what I was trying to say. Headline read that he was teaching ISIS how to kill cops. That was the headline of the video. And then you read the article and you like actually read the points they're making, and they all fall apart when you actually read them. I did a paper on this and how the news was badly affecting in YouTube personalities for school.
That's why you have to listen to networks and people that don't have incentive to lie to you. CNN, Fox News, all these networks have incentive to lie to you because they make money off of outrage. Independent news networks and stuff like that, they won't make, like, they have no incentive to lie to you because they have no side. They have no agenda to push.
You have to have the ability to read an argument and understand it. And it's something that requires, what's the word I'm looking for? The ability to interpret speech and understand arguments and bias and all that, you know? Rhetoric, there we go. You have to be able to understand that. And that's something that most people just things very literally all the time. And that is, again, what Chris is saying. People are just when they consume information.
You
Yeah.
cut
I've
out
been
a
on
little bit. You cut out a little bit, Robbie.
I'm sorry. Where did I cut out at?
You were talking about but you're rhetoric, and
Jesus.
I think the biggest problem that we're facing right now, at least with Twitter, is that it's impossible to avoid rhetoric while you're investigating news on Twitter. I think it's almost actually completely impossible with news in general to avoid rhetoric of some kind, whether it be
And it's not
positive,
that you-
negative, or neutral.
It's not that you have to avoid it. You have to be able to interpret it and read it and see through it.
You have to see, is there an agenda that's trying to be pushed? If so,
Yes.
what is it? And you also have to keep in mind, is this, for example, I already gave an example of the positive. Now I'll give the example of the double negative. It'll make sense in a second. So say, I'll make this assumption. Say that Fox News is a completely pro-Republican network, which it is, but let's just say that. Let's make that an assumption. So if Fox News is reporting on a story about, say, Hillary Clinton or some other controversial non-Republican figure, then they will talk about that person in a negative light in most of their stories, even if nothing majorly wrong happened.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
that's the given. That's basic. That's the positive. Now for the double negative. Say an important Republican figure, for example, Donald Trump, does something that's bad, and then the news network says what they did isn't that bad. Everyone's blowing this out of proportion. You also have to keep in mind who funds that network, what rhetoric are they using, and why are they saying what they're saying. So, for example, Fox Network they're probably not being genuine because they are either paid or inclined to say something specific about that person. So you have to learn to read through what people are saying and actually find out what is fact, what is reality, and what is actually just a rhetorical spin.
But neither
Thank
side
you,
would be genuine. You have to find an independent news network because CNN.
I disagree.
CNN would blow it out of the proportion the other way because they want to tear that narrative down. So Fox News wants to build that narrative up. So either way, you're going to have a manipulation on either side.
Mm-hmm.
Individual need to learn to read biases and understand an argument that's being made so that you know what to look for and look for the facts. It's not that you need to find a trustworthy news source, which is a good thing to have. But even then, you can never truly trust the news you're being consumed. You should always be skeptical. You just need to. What I always do is I just read the story from multiple different sources, all the biased ones and even the less biased ones. And the parts that are all consistent are the ones that I hold as more truthful.
Most people don't care about that. Most people don't care about that.
Most people don't take the time to do that, and that's the problem. Is most people don't evaluate
a headline on Twitter.
Things exactly.
Yeah, fuck that.
That's why this generation gets dumbed down so poorly.
Speaking of which,
here it is.
Speaking of which, okay, most of you know me personally. Know that the school fucking shit on me, right? Clear Falls shit on me. Which I want an episode where we get our principal, Paul House, and I sit. We have a chat with him. I want to just have a couple at least 15 minutes of his time. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to talk about my punishment. Because if you haven't seen my Twitter, we just talked about my Twitter's fucking garbage, right? My Twitter is just full of jokes and raunchy and curse words and shit like that, right? So, but that's me as an individual. That's what I'll post those jokes. Not it has nothing to do with school. Do y'all agree?
Yeah, I agree. Your tweets tend to not be about people at your school or about your school in general, unless the school provokes you into tweeting about them.
Yeah. Okay. So I run for class president, and it's pretty clear I'm gonna win. You're pretty popular for my school, Clear Falls High School. It's pretty clear I'm gonna win. So this girl, should I say her name on the podcast?
No.
If you want to, it is your podcast.
But I don't think you should.
I'm not going to say her name. I'm not going to say her name. I'm going to say her name is Skittles. Skittles wins class president for the past 3 years. Skittles then is okay, Caleb is going to win, right? So then Skittles gives my Twitter @ to the school admins, So then, I get called in. I just get my posters approved, which my posters are pretty funny. So I just get my posters approved for class president. They escort me in there with 2 APs, 2 assistant principals, right? And apparently they had an entire admin meeting. My friend's mom's a teacher, and she was at the admin meeting. Where for an hour, they just sat there and fucking scrolled through my tweets. Through my dumb ass shitty tweets. And filled out a binder.
You just know that
they filled out a fucking binder of my tweets. Printed them out. Printed out every single thing. Oh, this says curse word in there. Oh, this says women. It's got to be bad. Print it in there. And so then they printed it, put a fucking whole hour. They called all of the important people in our school to talk about my stupid ass Twitter, which is already fucking worth my time, right? So then she's like, okay, you can't run for class officer because this is totally inappropriate, whatever. I'm like, okay, free speech. She's like, yeah, fuck that, you don't have it. Which I completely disagree with, but what am I going to do? Like, not have that? So I got in touch with the superintendent because I wanted to start a petition because I wanted to be class president, right? So superintendent basically said it's up to the school board to grant you class presidency, which they're not going to do. Even if I had all the signatures in the school, which I would have gotten, I got on a fucking Harambe petition. I got like 500 something signatures. It was fucking ridiculous.
I was actually going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Back when Harambe was a big meme, Caleb created a website for Harambeism or something, the religion about Harambe, and he was going to petition to make it like
it's not relevant. It's not
religion to be recognized. It was hilarious.
But it got like 500 signatures in like a week. It got 500 signatures a week. So I could have gotten a big ass petition, right? But I didn't because I knew it wasn't going to do anything. Then I won for homecoming president, which I win, right, and get taken out of, got banned from the parade, banned from the actual accepting it in homecoming, because, get this, I tweeted F Skittles, the girl who fucking gave my Twitter, and I know she fucking did it. She says she didn't. She put so many lies up. I talked to her directly. We were in the DMs, not the DMs. The fucking text. In the text, she's like, I don't even know you. Like, I've never fucking talked to you before. Shut the fuck up. I know, like we're in the same class together.
Who even are you, Caleb?
She won't even look at me. Like she'll look at me for like 1 second and want like whatever. Right? We're in the same class. We've talked to each other at parties before. Skittles was probably just fucking like too fucking out of her mind to even remember it. Maybe fucking what I shouldn't fucking slander her this hard. But people don't even know who Skittles is. She's probably not even gonna listen to the podcast.
Well, that depends on if you tweet it out or not.
But they do actual illegal shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't do anything illegal. I just tweet bad words, and I get taken off a class presidency. Now Skittles didn't even win class president. Marcos, I can say his real name. Marcos Becerra won class president, which I'm doing an interview with him for an episode of Late Night Nights, my little talk show thing.
Your other show that we're not a part of.
But so she doesn't even win. Basically, I get censored because of my Twitter. Also, for tweeting F Skittles. That was essentially cyberbullying or whatever. They threatened AEP on me, like 40 days of AEP, which is an alternative campus. Mm-hmm. And but then they called my mom. My mom yelled at him. My mom, what are you fucking doing? Are you drinking Capri Sun? Jesus fucking Christ!
This podcast is falling apart.
Chris, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry, making sounds. Go ahead.
Can't even fucking remember what I was saying.
Your mother. Your mother called and got mad.
Don't say that. Okay. So my mom. They call my mom, and they're like, "Oh, is it alright if I call your parents about this?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like they're trying to intimidate me with it. They call my mom. She's like, yeah, your son's in here because of his Twitter. He can't run for class president. I don't know how important that was to him or whatever. Do you know about this? She goes, yeah, I know about this. She goes, okay, well, he can't run because his Twitter's inappropriate. Blah, 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 blah. And she goes, are you kidding me? And that was a moment I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, my mom's about to fucking light this bitch up, right? But basically, whenever they call me in, they call me a bully for, and like I was harassing Skittles, and I tweeted about her like twice, 3 times. I don't know. But
I don't know. 3 times seems pretty
jokes.
harassment. Like
they were all jokes. Fuck
Joke,
off.
bro.
3 fucking tweets on someone. Just blocked me. What she did, she still blocked me, but she decided to still tattle on me the same day. It was like fucking 2 periods later I get called in.
This is becoming more of a tangent about this one girl and not why.
Yeah,
Twitter
Okay. But basically, I got ISS for my Twitter, and I think it's censorship.
It is a little bit.
So while we're on the subject of school and Twitter, I think we've talked sufficiently about Twitter now.
Yeah, fuck Twitter.
Let's do
So here's the next question that I know. Well, that I know. Fuck you guys. That I know will not be quite as one-sided or as agreeable as the other things. We're going to talk about college.
Okay. All right.
We're going to talk about, is college worth it? That's the general question. So please, my good sir, because I know I don't agree with you, proceed, Caleb.
Okay, Caleb, opening statement.
All right, opening statement. Let's get it cracking, baby. Now, whenever I say this, I'm not talking to anybody that wants to be a doctor, a lawyer, anything that requires a degree like that. If you want to, literally fucking anything else, except for like engineers, bullshit like that, right? College is useless to everybody else. I think, also don't be a doctor. You will have higher suicide rates than anybody else in the whole world for a good reason. Just being a doctor is fucked, right? College is useless specifically for me and specifically for the general population, and I'll tell you why. Huge main points. Huge debt. You will go it costs so fucking much to get an education, and for the same education that you could literally learn yourself. You could learn yourself in a library. The only reason why you're going to college is for a degree, which most people don't need. And on average, the figure for, I think it was 2015, 2014, something like that. The most recent that the U.S. Census could get is that college graduates make on average $20,000 more a year than non-college graduates, and I believe that includes the fucking unemployment rate. So people that are unemployed and people that are employed without college degrees making less than $20,000, which obviously people with a college degree are going to have a higher employment rate, right? That's fucking obvious because it's just easier to get jobs with that, easier to land interviews. But what I'm saying is you don't need it at all, and I definitely won't need it. You can learn everything in college, and it's fucking expensive as fuck. Basically, my main points.
All right, Robbie.
Why do you not need college? I don't feel you made that point at all.
Okay. Why I don't need college? I want to go into, say, for the first 5 years after I graduate high school, which I already have a commission sales job confirmed. It's not that hard. Just be good with people. That's the number one skill with any job. I believe that 100%. Number one skill with every job is to be good with people. And so I'm good with people, and I'm working on that skill because that's the number one skill you need to have. But basically, I have a commission sales job confirmed out of high school. Get better at sales. I can learn that shit from books. I can learn that shit from libraries and philosophers and shit like that. I do not need to go to college to learn actually useless shit and pay them thousands of dollars.
All right.
Any of you, do not need college. What you need to do, if you want to be rich or if you want to be successful or whatever, which most people do, they dream about it, you need to be self-motivated. You need to find You need to get a good job, right? You need to get like at least an hourly job. Work your fucking ass off. Use your free time to do the shit that you want to do for a living. Working, like, even if you work full time, work 9 to 5. As soon as you get home from at 5 o'clock, use that time to learn a skill. If you want to rap, fucking rap, right? Support yourself. Have a couple roommates or whatever. Live in an apartment, but fucking rap from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Just spend a couple hours on it every day, right?
So this is you giving a motivational speech to yourself right now.
That's what you need to do, right? You don't need to waste 4 years in college and get shit tons of debt and not be able to pay it off because your job is fucking balls to everybody else. And the unemployment rate for college graduates goes up every year. The usefulness of a college degree goes down every year. And that's not arguable. My aunts and my fucking uncles are like, oh, you need to get a college degree because it's important. Everybody's getting a college degree. Yeah, the point is everybody's getting a fucking college degree, aunt and uncle, right? It's not as useful anymore. People don't want that. People want you to be skilled in the thing, which the whole reason why they started universities in the first place is so that they could differentiate the fucking useful people from the not useful people. Well, now basically everybody has basic critical thinking skills, I'm pretty sure, but not really if you're on Twitter, right? Purple hair bitches, I'm fucking talking to you, not smart, right? But yeah, those are basically my main points. You'll go into debt. You can learn everything you need to, motivate yourself, and don't rely on professors to teach things for you. Teach it to yourself. Which I'm not saying that it's completely useless, but I'm saying you can learn everything in college in a library and on the internet.
If you look in the right place.
If Chris, you look in the right places.
No. I got you. You go first. I already called upon you.
Well, I'm more of a man in the middle here, and I feel like we should go from one to the other and then meet in the middle with me.
You got cut out. Say that again.
Hello, Discord lag. My name is Robbie.
I think I'm more of a man in the middle in this situation, so I think we should hear from the more opposing sides than me.
Okay, so I suppose it's my turn to tackle Mr. King.
Because you're already in college.
Yes. For those of you who don't know me, I am currently already a college student. I'm a first-year college freshman. I won't disclose where because it doesn't matter. But basically, I'm in a good spot, and I, for one, am in support of going to college. So I listened to all of Caleb's argument, and I admit that some of it is reasonable, some of it is useful.
Yeah, you know
however,
it's reasonable.
I said some of it, not all of it. So I agree with the points. I'll start with what I agree with before I try to debunk anything. So, to your point about don't listen to your professors, or at least don't take everything they say as word of fact. Be self-motivated. Learn for yourself. That's fucking obvious. That's something that you should know, whether or not you're a college student. Is you should be self-motivated to learn and to improve and to do better things for yourself. So I agree with that, but that doesn't depend on you being in college or not being in college. You can still be in college and still be self-motivated. So I think those two things are totally not related. But if I want to talk about why I think college is useful, you don't even have to go to college and get a professorial degree or a doctorate, which is what Caleb was talking about with people who go to law school and people who are engineers and people who are doctors. Those are college essentials. You have to have a higher education in order to perform those jobs. But for the general public who thinks that they don't need college, you're right. You don't need college if you don't plan on having a job that will successfully or consistently be able to make you a greater than average living. So what I mean by that is the not going to college route has its advantages, as Caleb pointed out, but the biggest disadvantage is a complete and utter lack of consistency. So you can go big on music, and you don't go to college for that. You don't get a musicology degree and then be the best rapper alive. That's not a thing. But at the same time, you don't go to college, or you don't not go to college, not get a degree, and then just happen to land yourself a 6-figure job in any position anywhere in the world, unless you just have amazing interpersonal skills and everybody loves you and you're also a skilled person. Extremely unlikely.
Like me.
Don't be arrogant. So the actual option for reasonable people is to go to college to get a real higher education to give yourselves real opportunities, as opposed to just hope on a whim that everything connects like perfectly. Because if everything doesn't connect perfectly, then it's harder to not have a failsafe. And while you can still land basic jobs or good jobs, for example, you could be like the manager of a Walmart or something, or you could be like a person who has like a complicated job with like 10 years in the field, but you're never going to be very, very, very successful unless you're a 1 in a million talent. Unless you get a higher education, which is a consistent path to more income.
It's not even being a 1 in a million talent. It's kind of just down to luck at that point. There's a lot of 1 in a millions out there.
I don't think it has anything to do with luck. I don't think it has anything to do with luck.
It does.
It doesn't.
All right?
It doesn't.
It does.
The way I see college is that, like Caleb's saying, don't really need it unless you're going into these degree fields which require you to be educated, because you don't want your brain being operated on by someone who didn't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
The way I see college, for myself at least, is it's a good way to get out there and start building a network, to build connections with people and meet people that you might have.
Bullshit. Wait, hold on. What do you mean that's bullshit? That's absurd. Your claim makes no sense.
About building network. You can do that by yourself.
And you can also do that.
And yes, you can. I'm not saying you
don't
can't.
Need to spend thousands. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars to fucking.
Also on your point about crippling debt, things like scholarships and like loans and like actually getting a successful job out of college are things that can prevent student debt from being an issue at all. Not all college students who go to college leave with massive debt that they can't afford and live homeless for the rest of their lives.
But it's been the highest it's ever been, right?
It is. It's bad. I agree with you. I'm saying it is bad. It is awful. Student loans, terrible. You should try to ride in with as many scholarships as you can and try to pay the rest of your way. But let me finish.
Yeah.
Yes, you can build a network from home, but it's useful to go to college because that is a place where you're more likely to meet people with similar interests than you, versus working at Sonic. I mean,
forever.
How many people am I gonna find at Sonic that want to go into like film industry with me? You're not. And how many people are you going to find at HEB that want to go into rapping with you?
No one.
I've met one.
There's going to be a few, and there are a few that have these similar interests with you, but you're more likely to find these more passionate people in a college where there's kind of that get-together. Me, I want to go into the film industry, and I want to make films of some sort. And yes, you can do that from home and get big on YouTube or whatever and launch yourself further, but opportunity to get out there and meet people with similar interests and start building networks like that. Also, Austin right now, where I'm going to be going, is kind of a booming film industry in itself with a bunch of studios moving out there. So I can get out there, go to college, and make myself look really good in my classes there, and maybe get picked up by someone or join someone else outside of college and build something out there. But I just see college as a good way to build networks and connect with people. Not to mention, you can also get degrees there that are fallbacks in case your creative passion, like what I'm doing, doesn't work out.
I'm saying,
degree, you are a lot more favorable. Like you said, Caleb, you're a lot more favorable in job positions. People want people with college degrees. I am more likely to be chosen for an interview for a job than someone who doesn't have a college degree.
Yeah. But you can still get interviews without a college degree.
Yes, you can.
Point, yeah. My point is that you would get a lot more. You would get a lot more interviews with that college degree, but it's about nailing the interview. It's about going in there and you work with people, or whatever. They don't. the college degree isn't the deciding factor, and really, I don't even think it's a I don't even think it's a worthwhile advantage. I don't think it's a worthwhile advantage.
I think it is. I think having that safety net there for you makes it a lot easier for you in life.
I know. I'm recognizing the advantage. I'm just saying it's not worth it. It's not worth 4 years of your life, and it's not worth all the money that you spend.
So another thing that you're not considering about college, which I think is coming from you, no, I'm not flaming you, it's just the truth. Personally, you have no interest in college, so of course you think it's not useful to go. Yes. But other people who want to go to college may also want to go to college to experience higher learning and talk to professors who are... No, let me finish. So people also want to go to college to receive a better education from people who are professionals in their field, one-on-one. You talk to people who are like doctorate level, professorial level experts in whatever you are passionate about. That is how you learn and truly understand and truly get better at what you want to do for the rest of your life, is talking with, conversing with, making networks and friends with those kinds of experts. And college is a perfect facilitator for that kind of activity.
Yes, it is. And also you get out there and you get to experience things, and you get to kind of get out away from home in a way, you know? You get to just live on your own for a little bit. And
move out, get a couple roommates, and get a job.
Yeah, I think that college is a nice experience, but on that point, I do agree you can do the same thing alone.
I mean, I want to room with you, but you're moving to Vietnam, dude.
I'm not. I'm going there for 2 weeks.
Why?
For the experience.
Okay.
I'm going to Vietnam for 2 weeks. I'm going to Thailand for 2 weeks.
Rooming is a great idea, but everyone wants to go somewhere else, and finding someone who wants to go to the exact same place as you when you're leaving for the first time is not all that easy now, is it?
I understand.
Especially when the person you want to room with is going to move to a foreign country.
Fucking get a Craigslist roommate, for fuck's sake. Just get. I think it's
so
much worthwhile.
A lot right there, don't you?
I think it's so much more worthwhile to go out to get a full-time job, or not even really. Just get jobs, just fucking make money, and then use your free time for what you want. I know. The point is, go get experience, go get an internship, go get something like that.
Yes, you can do all of these things while still having the added benefit of higher education.
I understand, but that takes so much time. That takes so much time.
More likely to get a full-time job that pays you well, but because not having it makes you less likely, because none of us have experience right now. And like you said, experience is what they really, really want out of you. Not just a college degree, but experience. But if you don't have that college degree and no experience like you do right now, a lot less likely to get a job.
Like right now, I confirmed commission job, right, out of high school. I really didn't even have to work for it. I was just good with people. They tried to hire me on the spot, but I'm 17, so they couldn't.
I do definitely agree with you that a lot of self is just being a good people person, being able to talk to people.
So whenever they try to hire me or whatever, they were like, I had no experience, I had no college degree, but yet I have a potential to make shit tons of money in commission sales if I'm just good at my job, and that's experience. So I go in there, I get the experience in sales. I don't go to college for 4 years to learn about sales and then not do shit about it. I go and get the sales job and work that for 4 years. And so and that's 100 times better than college.
No, it's not. Yes, and I'll give you I'll give you an exact reason why. Because you can do the exact same thing and also go to college.
Not true. Because
wait. So you're telling me I can't get a college education, then go get experience in my work field. Even though I have a degree, I'm still getting experience in my work field. And then when they interview me, not only do I have 10 years of experience, which I could have had from just not going to college, I have 10 years of experience and I have a master's degree in the subject that I'm trying to apply for.
Chris.
Yes.
Would you... Okay, do you think this is a realistic expectation of somebody, right? Having a full-time job, full-time commission sales job, going to college to get a degree in marketing or business, and having time to do your hobbies, and also having a social life. Do you think that's plausible?
I personally believe that while you are in university levels and school, and you're trying to study, it's not possible to have everything that you want. Exactly. I mean, that's okay, but at this situation, I value like my education and the ability to receive my college degree over having a quote unquote social life.
Experience is more important than education.
But that's not the point.
Experience does outrank education.
So get a full-time job.
Makes that experience look so much better.
Get a full-time job. Use that. Don't go to college.
But think about it. It's just a +1. You can have all the experience in the world and still go to college, and you have a +1. The person who also has the same.
Then you won't do shit. You'll go to school. You'll work your job. You go to school. You work your job. You go to school. You work your job. You won't do anything you want to do, and your life will be ruined.
That's not the situation I was talking about. I think you may have misconstrued my point or are just like getting off topic. But what I said was that you can go to school full time, learn what you're doing, get your degree, still work part-time jobs while you do that sort of thing.
Part-time.
Then, okay, listen to me. And then you go and get experience with the field that you want to work in. And then when you have 10 years of experience or something like that, you are applying for a job with 10 years of experience, which is more valuable than a 4-year college degree. But you also have a 4-year college degree, which in that situation is much more valuable than someone who just has 10 years of experience. You don't get your full-time job and your perfect career 4 years earlier, but it is much more worth it in the end because it's extremely, extremely more secure.
That's like Chris said, it's security.
That's just a waste of time. You could die literally any day. 10 years. Go do it right now. Go fucking do it right now. Yeah.
That's not an argument. That's
what
not.
do you? Okay, no. Shut up.
And spend all the money.
No. Not what I'm saying. Right? I'm saying do things reasonably. Do things reasonably.
Yes.
And so don't waste your whole fucking life doing full-time school, part-time job, and not having enough for a social life, not having enough for your hobbies or interests, what you actually want to do. That's how you not be depressed, and that's how you keep your stress levels low. Because you do things you like to do, and you want to have time for that. You won't have time for that. You won't have time for that if you're full-time school. You won't have time for your hobbies. You won't have time for anything you want to do.
He's spazzing out.
Shut the fuck up. You won't have time for anything if you're full-time school, part-time job.
That's not true.
That's not
true.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so no. Stop.
Right
let me say one thing right now that will debunk this entire part. You're saying that if you're basically saying to me and Robbie right now, if you go to school and have a part-time job, you can't be happy, you can't have a social life, and you will feel sad and depressed, which is not true.
I'm saying it's not likely.
No, that's not true either. Someone who goes to university might love to learn and love the school and love the people and have great friends and still go to university and enjoy their life.
If your hobbies and things that you like to do or possibly pursue a career in, because like I want to do commission sales or whatever, but I want to be a comedian and I want to be an entertainer. If your hobbies are going to school, you're a fucking loser.
That's not that. Wait, that's not that. That doesn't make any sense. If someone loves to learn and also makes like being around those friends,
I love to learn. I love to learn, but I will learn with experience, and I will learn through books and through shit like that.
People who go to college can do the same thing.
I do not want to sit there in a fucking classroom. I do not.
Okay, well then that comes down to how you like to learn. That has nothing to do with whether it's beneficial or not to go to college.
I agree. But still expensive. Still expensive as fuck, and not worth. In my opinion, go the Caleb King route. If you're listening, go the Caleb King route. Invest your money. Invest a certain part of your money. Just $5 a day. Just fucking $5 a day. Round up $35 every week. And at the end of the month, invest it all. Invest it in. So
instead of listening,
invest it in mutual funds. Invest it in stocks. Learn stocks. Fucking don't just invest in it. Learn stocks.
Are you investing in stocks right now?
I'm learning it. I'm learning it. And so, invest your money, get a job, get experience. Don't fucking go to college. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And I guarantee by the time that you finish your degree, it will be even less worthwhile. Just learn people skills. Learn people skills and learn things that are actually useful. Don't go to college. Don't fucking go to college.
So I get that. I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, agree to disagree, because I think that it's extremely beneficial to go to college. You can do all the same things out of college as you could do in, which is the entire point of your argument. But you can also have a college degree on top of that, which is not only a great safety net, but it's also a great facilitator to do the things that you love. If you love what you do and that thing is highly supported in college, do that in college. You can talk to professionals. You can meet friends who are like-minded. You can get connections and people experience with the people who are the best in the world at what they do. So yes, I think college is beneficial. Robbie, do you want to close it out since me and Caleb are the two antipodes of the conversation?
I feel like I've kind of got the dynamic for this podcast figured out. Caleb is Keemstar.
I'm fucking not. I'm fucking not. Also, the viewers don't even know who that is.
I'm just Tommy, shot from the point.
Most of the
Wait, so who am I?
viewers won't even know who that is.
Colossal is crazy. You're the more logical thinker here.
Colossal is not fucking logical. Colossal, everyone's always fucking British. Always fucking British has a British accent. He's not fucking logical. He's not. He's really funny. He's really funny.
You're comparing me to a mythical figure who doesn't exist, a logical podcaster who talks to Keemstar with any regularity. So don't do that. Just call me Chris because I'm logical.
Yeah, okay.
They're not.
Don't mention them. Don't actually mention them because I guarantee you most of the audience doesn't know who they are. Don't listen to Beta.
So that was heated, but nothing's personal on this channel. It wasn't
even that heated. I want to close out the podcast. I know it's fucking 55 minutes long. I want to close the podcast out with net neutrality because we can all agree on that.
That's easy.
Net neutrality. If you haven't heard about it, you're fucking shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Go call your representatives.
Go call your representatives. Tell them to vote no on December 7th. I'm just going to assume everybody knows what net neutrality is.
December 14th.
Yeah, I know. December 14th, they're voting on it. December 7th is a different date, which is tomorrow. Because we're recording this on a Wednesday. What am I saying? Before Chris fucking interrupted me like an ogre.
Net neutrality. Hello?
Net neutrality. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to assume everybody knows what that is. I'm going to...
Okay, no, you don't just
What
assume.
are you talking about?
So for those of you who don't know what net neutrality is, I will give a brief explanation because even though you're assuming that people pay attention, they don't. That's how the modern world works.
I wrote a whole essay on net neutrality.
Okay, let me tell you what net neutrality is. It won't take long. So net neutrality is basically this. So say you have a computer, which everyone who's listening to this podcast definitely does. So you have an internet service provider, an ISP, and they, under current net neutrality laws, cannot control what you do, nor can they basically charge you a premium fee to have faster or slower internet. That sounds like a basic fundamental right of using the internet is the ability to use it for what you want. That's kind of the foundation of America, freedom.
It's the free and open internet.
So net neutrality is the concept that the internet should not, it's not to say that the internet should be unfiltered. That's not net neutrality. Don't confuse it. It's exactly what Robbie said. The internet should be free and open so that you can use it. That doesn't mean that you don't pay your ISP for your internet. That's not it either. But it's saying that internet service providers and government agencies cannot control explicitly what you do or what you can do, nor are they allowed to run businesses out of business just because they don't agree with them.
Which net neutrality classifies the internet as a utility, meaning exactly what Chris is saying. As a utility, the internet, you when you pay for the internet, you get the whole internet. You don't get to only go to one website or two websites. You get all the websites you want to go to.
Yes.
See communist China and North Korea.
Yeah. So the ISPs are already known for shit service, high prices and shit service because they're such a tight oligopoly. You know what I'm saying? There's only a couple of them because there's such a high barrier of entry to be an internet service provider as a business, right?
Yeah.
So they already take advantage of you. They're saying with the repealation of net neutrality, I'm going to tell you exactly what they're going to do. If they repeal the laws of net neutrality or whatever, then your social media is going to be split up into packs. You're going to have to pay extra for social media. You're going to have to pay extra for fucking music streaming. You're going to have to pay extra for this and this and this and this in separate packages added on to your already fucking high bill that they basically don't care about and will not service you within like fucking what is it 3 days? That if your internet goes down, Jesus fucking Christ.
A good way to visualize it is like how cable packages are set out.
Yeah, fuck cable. Actually, fuck cable. Just watch Netflix. Love Netflix. Actually, I hope they come out with another platform that's exactly like YouTube for unique creators. Fuck YouTube, by the way. Fuck Twitter. And
And if we're being Caleb King, fuck college. Anyways,
Also
continue.
fuck college.
Basic cable package, which has X amount of channels, and if you pay extra, you get to access the channels that you actually care about, like Nickelodeon, Disney, HBO, Stars, whatever.
Not only that, but small businesses.
And so the internet equivalent is you would
fucking
access to the internet, but then you would have to pay extra to go to YouTube.
We know that.
Netflix, Twitter.
We just said that.
Fleshing out the example.
Okay. Not only that, but if say you're a small business and you want to start a website, right? You're Caleb King. You didn't go to college. You want to make some extra money by starting a website, making some fucking cash, right? So you start this website. Net neutrality is over, right? We don't have it anymore. You have to pay every single internet service provider to make sure that your website runs smoothly. Because if not, they will either make it run like shit because you're not paying them. So they'll make it run like shit. Everything that's not being covered by them just will run like shit. Or they can't even visit your website. Like they will just utterly block it, which already happens in other countries that don't have net neutrality. So so entrepreneuring and like sole proprietorships fucking can't like actually just creamed. Fucking actually creamed because they have to pay every internet service provider to keep their websites up, which websites are like the number one utility for all small businesses that want to come up right now. Because 2017 is current year right now. So honestly, call your fucking guys. Go to battleforthenet.com. I'm going to a protest tomorrow, actually. At 2:00. I'm skipping school to do it. And
classic Caleb King.
And we're going straight to Verizon, a Verizon store, and we're all sitting out there like chimps, and we're gonna fucking yell about net neutrality.
Just scream in the air helplessly.
Which Verizon's my provider, actually.
What are you gonna do in that protest though? Those are just minimum wage workers who just have to sit.
I don't give a shit, dude. I don't give a shit because we're doing it to a lot, like Battle for the Net organize it on a lot of Verizon stores. So we're not trying to terrorize the individual stores. We're trying to terrorize the corporate. We're trying to take away business.
Jump on the counter and like go, I'm Pickle Rick or anything like that.
We're standing outside. So we're just trying to drive business away from them, basically.
That's fair. Tests nowadays, I'm a little wary.
All right, that was a good note.
So I think we all agree net neutrality is essential. Battle for the net. Go call your congressman. If you don't know how to do that and you're like confused, literally look up Battle for the Net. Or look up net neutrality. Or literally look up net neutrality.
I want to clarify that the vote that the FCC is pushing out right now is not to necessarily take away net neutrality. It's to take away protections of net neutrality.
Yeah, which they already did with internet privacy laws, and nobody was pissed about it.
That's what Title II utility classification does. Is it enforces net neutrality.
Yeah,
and taking that away means net neutrality is still the goal. It's just there's no way to legally enforce it anymore.
Yeah. They're basically stripping the legal protections away from net neutrality, so the corporations, also known as the ISPs, can basically infringe on your net neutrality without being considered partaking in an illegal action.
The argument is somehow that repealing this Title II classification for more competition to happen between ISPs, but the problem is just that ISPs, there's only like maybe 5 major ISPs, and they're all going to hike up prices. You already know that's going to happen. So competition and the whole free market argument doesn't really apply.
Yeah.
That's all the time that we have for this episode of Spaz Out. Follow us on Twitter. I think I just made a Twitter account. Follow us on YouTube, fucking Instagram, just Twitter and YouTube is good enough, right?
You can follow our individual accounts. I'm
join the Discord
videos outside of this.
Yeah,
outside of it.
I'll put our @ names up on everything. Please join the Discord. I'll have it on my Twitter. I don't know if these cunts will have it on there, but
I'll pull it up.
Definitely have it on my Twitter in my bio. And yeah. tune in to next episode where fuck cops? ?
We're going to talk about police.
Oh, joy. I love opening up a new can.
Also, fuck college.